Our annual meeting is always an event that's marked by transition. Obviously, the transition in board leadership, but also transition among board members themselves and directors. I'd like to acknowledge and thank our outgoing board members, Lisa Kasdan, Betsy Rathbun-Gunn, and Peter Kinder. They've each made unique contributions to our work and put in countless hours to advancing philanthropy in Vermont. These are directors who came in with Irene and are leaving with the pandemic. And I'm stealing Peter Kinder's line from earlier in the day. Thank you, Peter. But that's a remarkable bookends to a period of service. Though that service is not the only commitment to philanthropy that they've been a part of. Lisa has been actively involved in our work as a staff member in the Upper Valley in advance of her board service. And Peter's had a long career in socially responsible and mission investing, and Betsy's been active in her community and in philanthropy and through the VCF for many years. So together, you're looking at decades worth of philanthropy and VCF governance, which we will miss and we are incredibly grateful for. At the same time, we would like to celebrate our incoming directors elected by the August ballot, elected by the members of the Community Foundation. Kristen Carlson, Washington County, Dimitri Garter from Bennington County, and John Vogel from Windsor County. And I'd also like to welcome the newly elected members to the VCF governance family. You'll see them listed there below. We're excited by the new members, excited about our governance going forward. This work is the product of the nominating committee's fruitful engagement last winter, and we are again grateful for Lisa Kasdan's chairmanship and stewardship of that committee and its collective work last winter. I'd also like to take a moment and just acknowledge and note the passing of a couple of key partners. Last year, we lost Dick Chapman, who was a founding director of the Community Foundation and served as board chair from 1993 to 1995. And we also lost Paul Brune, executive director of the Preservation Trust of Vermont. Paul was a key partner and advisor to the Community Foundation over the years and to me. There's a phrase from our early years that is attributed to our founder, Dave Rahr, that describes our work sometimes as the work of friendly schemers. And when I think about all the things that Paul was a part of and was able to do over the decades he was in service at Preservation Trust of Vermont, he was creative and brilliant, humble, and a wonderful partner. And so we think frequently, and it's always important to take a moment and acknowledge the passing of people who've been a part of our legacy over the years. Next slide. So it's always important, I think, at the annual meeting to ground ourselves in our work. In 2018, we restated our mission, our vision, and our values. And we're an organization that believes that we're all better together. We're here to inspire giving. We're here to bring people together. We're here to make sure that resources are aligned to make a difference in Vermont. Our vision is for a Vermont that's at its best, and Vermonters who are at their best. And we have some new faces doing that work this year. I'd like to welcome Nate Clark in Communications, Jennifer Dutois Barrett in Grants and Community Investments, Ruth Henry on the Philanthropy team, and Christine Settles in Finance and Operations. Her work is focused on that of Let's Grow Kids, advancing the mission of early childhood care and education. 2019 was an incredible year for the Community Foundation. You'll hear a little more from Sarah Waring about community impact, but I'm excited to share that we saw the largest grant making year in our history in 2019. $25.8 million went out in community impact. That impact is enhanced by the impact of our supporting organizations. In 2019, our supporting organizations put nearly $9 million to work in Vermont communities. They're part of that constellation of community impact. Among funds advised by community members, grant making by community advised funds, an additional $1 million in 2019 grant making. These are funds that are guided by community members who come together, volunteer their time, and spend hundreds of hours considering how to make a difference on the issues and in the places they care about. These supporting organizations and component and community funds, these close partners include the J. Warren and Lois McClure Foundation, the Curtis Fund, Let's Grow Kids, the High Meadows Fund, the Vermont Women's Fund, the Samara Fund, the Addison Community Athletic Foundation, the Northeast Kingdom Fund, and the Opportunity Fund for South Shire Youth. Across all of it, across all of our work, the VCF brought more than $44 million to bear on its work in 2019. That's $5 million in program expenses, $13.5 million in place-based mission investing out of our pooled endowment funds, $25.8 million in total grant making. That's an incredible amount of work and I believe an incredible impact for the organization. 2019 also reflected a couple of noteworthy milestones. In 2019, we crossed over $280 million in cumulative grants made since we were founded in 1986, and over $500 million of gifts into the foundation over the same period. So, as key partners in our governance, it's important, I believe, that you understand our financial performance, our approach to asset management, and our hope is also that you leave here with a clear understanding of our work and our performance in 2019, but also hear a bit about our work in response to the pandemic this year. I'm about to invite our Vice President for Finance, Deb Dabrowski, our Vice Presidents for Philanthropy, Stacy Fagan, Vice President for Grants and Community Investment, Sarah Waring, to present a bit about each of their work over the last year and over the last 9 months. But again, I'm grateful for your participation and engagement in our governance. And I'll have a chance to wrap up with some closing remarks in a few minutes. Thank you very much.